first and foremost, the safe amount of alcohol to consume that guarantees your safety in terms of risk of injury or risk of illness, whether it's immediate or whether it's long term, is 0. Like, that is the amount of alcohol that you can get away with. None. So then the recommendations and the guidelines are essentially what you can get away with. So in terms of general recommendations, women, it's 1 drink a day, men, it's 2 drinks a day. However, and get this, what's considered heavy drinking is only 1 additional drink. So women, if you have 8 drinks a week, you're a heavy drinker. Men, if you have 15 drinks a week, you're a heavy drinker. So the guidelines and the recommendations kind of fall apart in terms of like, where is the line? What is okay and what's not okay? So I think the best thing that we can do is we can simply just try and minimize our consumption and perhaps even just replace it with other things and just get into the habit of not using it. So one thing to consider is alcohol has calories, okay? So in terms of the calorie content of alcohol, there are 7 calories per gram of alcohol, pure alcohol. With regards to protein and carbohydrates, there are 4 calories per gram of protein or per gram of carbohydrate. So alcohol is actually quite a bit closer to fat. Fat is 9 calories per gram. So alcohol in terms of like caloric density is kind of up there. So even if you're just taking shots of Patron, you're still getting calories. Unfortunately, the whole idea of like, I just drink clear liquids, like it just doesn't work. Then you have to add in all the mixes and all the extra things that we put in because we got to make it taste better because no one actually likes the taste of alcohol. So thinking about things like, hey, if you're having a gin and tonic, the shot of gin, 1.5 ounces of gin, is 112 calories. Just 1 shot. So if you're having 1 gin and tonic, a single, then like 112 calories you can account for, and that's probably okay. However, if you're having a double or you're having more than 1 gin and tonic, which most of the time when people are going out, they probably have more than 1, then you're consuming a whole lot of calories. That's just the gin. You got to add the tonic in on top of that, okay? There is a lot of calories in tonic, all right? So what about like, well, I have vodka. Okay, I just have vodka and I have soda water with it in lime. A double shot of vodka is almost 200 calories. There is just no free pass, unfortunately. So in terms of like your body composition and your weight, if you are not happy with how much weight you have on your body, drinking alcohol is doing you no favors, all right? It is more than likely putting you into a calorie surplus because if you have 4 or 5 drinks out on a Friday night and then another 4 or 5 out on a Saturday night and then maybe a quiet one at home on a Sunday night, you're drinking a whole lot of calories. So that's the first thing to be aware of. Now, the other thing is that alcohol serves us. And in fact, all of our bad habits, they serve a purpose. And a really nice example is people that smoke cigarettes. Now, part of what's so addictive about smoking cigarettes and part of what fuels that habit is that you get to take 5 minutes at any point in your day, however many times you want, to just check out. And you just get this space and you just get to breathe. And yes, you're breathing in toxins, but you're still just breathing. And you might just be people watching or having a random conversation with someone. And you can just kind of like take your dad or boss or employee or whatever hat you're wearing for that day, you can take it off and just check out. Okay, so you think of people in the military. Another example is that people in the military that smoke get dedicated smoke breaks throughout the day. So you see people that do not smoke take up smoking purely because they want to have the breaks, right? And it's the same thing that happens in real life. People just like taking that break. And that really contributes, and I know the nicotine helps, but it really contributes to that bad habit. So the purpose it's serving is not necessarily the actual cigarette, but it's the whole, I get time out, I get 5 minutes, and I can just do this thing on my own and just kind of relax. It's the same thing with staying up late at night. So the purpose that bad habit serves is you get to procrastinate. It's like the ultimate form of procrastination. You are delaying the next day. And whether it's because you don't want to get up and work out early, whether it's because you don't like your job and you don't want to go to work in the morning, whether it's because you've got a lot of stress with your partner or with your family right now, and you just don't want to deal with it. When we are in that safe space at night before the day's begun, it's like we want to stay there. We don't want to go to bed. We don't want to have to deal with things that we have to deal with in the morning. even though inevitably we all have to, and we only feel worse for it because we're tired. Simply procrastinating it serves us because it means that we can just not have to deal with it for that little tiny bit longer. And alcohol, this is not actually alcohol, PS, this is water. I just drink out of a wine glass because they're gigantic and I can drink a whole lot more water that way. Alcohol serves us in the same way and in a couple of different kind of capacities. So socially, it's an incredible lubricant, right? Like you can talk to people that you would never normally talk to. You can talk about things that you would never normally even talk about. So it's not only this lubricant in terms of it drops back our inhibitions and we stop having, all these rational thoughts or these kind of internal dialogues in our head. We can just relax. We are also then part of the group because we're drinking and you're drinking and everyone's drinking, and we can be socially accepted in this environment of like, we're all out for a drink. When we're on our own, it can serve a different purpose. And it's much like a cigarette would kind of serve the purpose of just being able to chill out. When you're at home having a drink at night, it might just be that symbol, that signal to your body and your brain that you can just like, I can relax and I can drop away all the worry and all of the stress and all the anxiety and all the busyness of my day. And I can just unwind with my wine or with my beer or whatever. And I can just melt into the couch. And it's like I just get to become fully present and let go of everything else because nothing else worries. I'm just going to relax. I'm just going to have this moment. This is my me time, right? And we actually don't need the alcohol to do that, but it just seems to have become really part of that moment, part of that ritual. So something that you can do is in terms of like, okay, well, if that's the purpose that it's serving, if I know that I just need to figure out how to deal with my stress and figure out how to like chill out better, then one thing could be to just simply replace the alcohol. So have sparkling water with like lime or lemon or something in it to make it sweeter. Or like something, kombucha is great for this. Put kombucha in your wine glass and just have that same experience, but sans alcohol, without alcohol. So chill out, pour yourself a drink in the glass that you normally drink out of, and just take that time to relax. And see if you cannot recreate that same feeling of like, I get to just be present and I get to chill out and unwind from the day, but you're not consuming alcohol. See if you can do that. The other thing is that you can treat alcohol like a treat. Like the best way to bring it in is to treat it like you would having cake or having your favorite takeout for the week, right? Maybe once or twice a week, you pick a night and you're going to consume alcohol on those nights. So reduce your intake of it. Ensure that you're not having it every single night. And if you do feel like you need that moment, then have your glass full of some other liquid and enjoy that moment and enjoy the taste of the kombucha or enjoy the taste of the flavored water, whatever it is. And give yourself the opportunity to actually identify, hey, is this something that I do that I'm actually using as a tool to deal with the stress of the day? And is it important that I continue this habit, but just maybe replace the alcohol with something else? Because I don't actually need the alcohol, I just need the downtime. Identify if that's what you really need, because bad habits serve us. They all do. And if you can find out what they're serving us or how they're serving us, then you can better serve that purpose with another habit.